the specialist of the strange. Meets the age of darkness. Eyes in the skies will sail upon the glitter of the skies. And ponder the insanity that comes from their adventure. Welcome to the Bald and Bonkers.
Oh my god, it's an alien. It's an alien! Dakota couldn't help himself. Ladies and gentlemen. You look lovely. You should have left it on. I hope you're not allergic to rubber, you know?
What?
I said I hope you're not allergic to rubber.
As far as I know, I'm not. Otherwise, between my legs might get a little itchy.
See Dakota, guys. He's some guy. So we've actually got a lot of really interesting stuff for you lined up tonight.
Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Oh, look, aliens! Look, hi, hello.
Even the Galactic Command is here. Are you there, Galactic Command? Make the light shine. I'll take that as a no then.
Come on, don't be shy. It's just us.
Who's all in the chat?
Let's see. We have Drew.
Normal.
Age.
We'll get 4 watching.
4 watching right now. 2 through Age of Darkness. 1 through Specialists of the Strange. 1 through Bald and Bonkers. Remember, everybody, this show is simultaneously broadcast through 3 different channels, as well as being put through as a podcast. And we're growing all the channels all at once. We actually have a flow page set up, which you can actually go on and see all the different spots that Bald and Bonkers is playing. We're going to get the link in the chat right now. Feel free to share that out.
Well, as I was going to say today, Dakota, because this is going up as a podcast, we have to explain things more clearly for the people on the podcast. Because obviously they can't see us 2 handsome guys here. They can just hear. They can just hear us. So I have to tell everybody, basically, that's listening to us on the radio.
Yeah. Also, but make sure you can find us on YouTube as well to catch, live tapings, as well as see anything if we just absolutely suck about what the descriptions are. But
we have got an interesting show lined up for today. And what's his name was meant to be joining us tonight?
Nubs. Yes, Nubs. Nubs, you're supposed to join us, brother. We are supposed to stand united.
Yes, you're meant to be on, Nubs. Stop cleaning your room and come on. You're doing the housework, seemingly, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, apparently Nubs has a Halloween party coming up, so he couldn't join his friends. But
he's getting
no harm, no foul.
Sucking away there as we speak, That's he's into that kind of thing,
Well, that has to explain how he looks somehow. Get the light on a bit.
Oh. So how is everybody in the chat? There is Drew's paranormal vlog.
Nah.
And who else we got? There's a guy in there called the Specialist Strange. Who could that be? That's a strange little character.
He definitely is a weird one.
And then there's that really weird guy. He's called Age of Darkness. They say he's really, really strange.
Oh, yeah, dealt with that guy. I don't know. We might need to get him institutionalized.
Well, I could do with a wee holiday,
But
anyway, guys, we've got some stuff we're going to talk about tonight. right? And there's a subject I want to bring up that we've no talked about. Well, I've not really seen anybody talking about this subject. Oh, there's paranormal world investigators. Hello.
Oh, a bad time she showed up.
So, Dakota, have you heard of this location I'm about to throw out for you all guys? The Death Valley in Russia, Siberia.
Oh, Death Valley. That does sound familiar.
Mm.
If I remember correctly, the only place that I've seen, yeah, see, Chris, they're saying right there, you're at the wrong side. We tried to settle this, Drew, but no, I have heard of it. I believe Ancient Aliens did a little bit about it.
They did. They did. Do you know every person that's went to investigate that place has either come back and had to go into hospital afterwards?
Aye, that's what I've heard.
There's been strange. I'm going to show you a picture. Right, here's the first picture. Right now, obviously, we'll have to show you and tell what this is for the people listening to the radio. Now, the structures in this mad place in Siberia, right, are meant to be made out of like copper and an unknown type of metal, right? But here's what some of the structures look like in the wintertime, guys. Now, nobody knows that much about these structures. All they know is they've been there for thousands of years, right? Now, I'll take that away the note. I've researched this, right? I've done a bit of research, and I've been fascinated with this for years now. And this Death Valley, it's just no, it's no like just buildings. There's a lot of strange things happen, and it's got what I can say is there's been Bigfoot sightings. There's been UFO sightings off the hill. I mean, UFO sightings everywhere. There's actually a tale. The local legend goes when the trappers, the trappers in Russia, that's people went out and hunted bears and stuff. I like the wee alien, by the way, would actually, when they went out hunting, they would come across these like domes in the middle of the marsh. And you got to remember in Siberia it drops down to about -60, right? And what they would do is sometimes they would sleep inside them. When they went inside, it was about a 30 Celsius. It was boiling all year round. But some people have went to look at them and just totally disappeared off the face of the earth. Some people have slept in them, but when they've come home, they've had burns all over their bodies, like you would get with radiation poisoning. Now I'm about to show you a picture of what one of these domes look like under the ground. Okay, so you see how you've got the moss on the top. Obviously there's the wee person, and seemingly there's meant to be different rooms all over. I mean, is there no like I think there's about 15 of these weird domes dotted around everywhere. Nobody knows what these things are, guys. Did you see that, Dakota, about was it the History Channel? They actually did. Do you know anything about?
Yeah. From what I've seen about this, one of the speculations out there about this particular site is that it might actually be some sort of defense weapon.
Yes,
Right.
that's what I've heard. In the research, it's like, is it the Kunduska event? Am I getting that right there? Because I can't pronounce it wrong.
It's Russian. Don't worry about it.
Before that event in the 1800s, and I'm going to show you a picture shortly. There was a meteorite come in, and the local tribes people actually seen this. The asteroids come in. It was obviously like a meteor, and all of a sudden there was light shot up through the ground, and it blew it up. And there's actually an illustration of this. Let me see if I can find it here. There's actually an illustration of this. Here we go. See, that's obviously a drawing in the bottom right-hand corner. That's the comet, or whatever it was before it exploded. Now, here's an interesting one. Here's an artist's illustration. Now, this was done about 100 years ago. I mean, look at that, guys. I mean, do you not just find that strange? You know, I mean, it's just like really, and this is to give you an idea where this place is, guys. Yeah, I can't pronounce that. Dakota, can you?
Yeah, you Katerinburg. There's a Russian woman I've been talking to. I would have to ask on how to pronounce that, but dang.
The place that begins with a Y. This is where this region is. If you look at some of these pictures, right, now let's explain this for the people in podcast. You've obviously got the photos of the underground section with the rooms and it's copper. But what's been happening is that it's hard to explain. They've been disappearing. They're actually sinking into the mud, and now all it's basically, if you go up to the top left, you can see a round patch. That's all that's left now. It's as if they've disappeared. Now, this is what I find fascinating about this. It's like every 600 years, something happens with these things. What's your thoughts on it, Dakota? Because I know that you've read into this.
It's honestly a sight I would love to see in person. There's just so much about it. I can't even describe it. There's obviously activity there. You have the many victims of what is essentially radiation poisoning. The lighter, the lighter end of it, where they get all the nasty burns. Yeah, it's a nasty sunburn. You're probably going to need to get checked for skin cancer later on. Obviously, something is going on here, and the Russians in particular are very interested in this type of stuff.
Well, here's actually a news article I'm reading. I'll not tell you what paper it is, but local legends mentioning, right, people dying from unknown causes when they get too close. Some people are fine, and some people just drop down dead, right? And there's been reports of a one-eyed giant. Now, what were they called? What's the one-eyed giants meant to be again? There's a name for them.
Cyclops.
And mysterious objects of these can be explained scientifically, it says. I mean, a giant 3 times the size of one eye can be named scientifically. That's what the paper says. But it's not just that. It's been like Bigfoot have been seen in this area. It's just so fascinating. I mean, this is in the same kind of area as where, obviously, near the Kunduska event. Before that happened, there was UFOs sighted. Just before that happened. It makes you wonder the strange things are out there. What do you think, Dakota?
What about the investigations you bragged on Prime, also thrown true? Oh, bollocks.
Aye.
Who's this clown?
Don't know. There you go, troll hunters.
Do you know which channel he was on?
Shadow Hunter. I'll find out. You know, it's obviously one of our IX team members. You know.
Hey,
you know,
ladies and gents, we called a truce. Let's respect it. All right.
Yeah. Do you know who that is? MD in the chat. He's been banned for the channel now, anyway. So.
Fucking A. Some people just had to cause trouble.
Yep.
That was on Bald and Bonkers.
That's what channel was that one?
He was actually on the Bald and Bonkers channel.
Was he? Right. Yes, that's very true, Sherry. That's very, very true. But you just get trolls like this. But never mind. Let's go back to the subject. So, Dakota, what's your thoughts on the Russian location?
It's definitely be something worth looking into. There's obviously several matters at hand that need to be taken into consideration. And as far as why certain people are fine but certain people are not. There's a lot of speculation there that there's certain people that may just have a good disposition, or we go into the more exotic theories, they themselves might actually be some form of hybrid.
Yeah. I mean, the UFOs that have been seen in the area too interest me. I'm, as you say, I think it's a very old defence system that's been built into the earth long ago. And obviously it's still operational. It makes you wonder because there's two reasons why the buildings could be sinking in, right? One, it's permafrost. They're saying global warming. It's melting, they're sinking, right? Or two, whoever's running them is intelligent and it's sinking them deliberately so as we don't find them and dig them up.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But it's fascinating, guys. I mean, we're going to start bringing you subjects like this every Wednesday, right?
That
I
is very
think
true.
you will be interested. So, Dakota, what else is news in the UFO world?
Oh, well, there is a recent event that's been taking place that we just happened to get news alerts for before we came on board that I would find interesting to see if there's any activity surrounding it.
Hmm,
There was a recent volcano that went off in
that's
south of
right.
Japan,
That's right.
which, well, yes, it's part of the Ring of Fire, which is part of the Pacific Ocean, where there's a lot of seismic activity and a lot of volcanoes.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm not mistaken, that particular spot happens to be not too far from what is known as the Dragon's Triangle, which is like Japan's version of the Bermuda Triangle, for those of you
Yeah.
who don't know. And
How many
some
there is
actually
it?
speculate it's worse.
It's. Do you not think there's something strange going on in all these eruptions? I mean, look at Spain, right? There's that volcano erupting. There's one in Iceland. Mind you, they say it was erupting in Iceland. There's that one in Japan. It's as if the world's getting ready for us. It's going through a cycle. But it's true what you say about the UFOs sightings near volcanoes, which is
Hmm.
shocking.
That's It's not exactly unheard of that just before major disasters, there's a spike in UFO sightings. There's a spike in weird weather phenomenon as well, where there's a
Yeah.
bit of a, what would we call it? They call it a myth, but they say
Yeah.
that coming earthquakes can actually cause enough of an electrical charge in the crust that gets shot off into the air. That affects the weather. A lot of them say, a lot of mainstream areas actually believe that that is actually fake. It's coincidence, but there are a number of UFO sightings, like say the Japanese tsunami, things like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Look at there was UFOs above the nuclear power stations in Japan the day
Hmm.
before at night.
Yep.
I mean, that's just very strange. And not just there, there was UFOs reports everywhere. There's been major disasters.
Hmm.
I wouldn't say like terrorist attacks. I would say more disasters and earthquakes and tsunamis and hurricanes, and it's as if they've got a fascination. And then again, it might throw the ball in. Let's throw the ball in here. What happens if they're not alien? What happens if it's time travelers and they're coming back to see before anything happened?
Curious enough, as you start mentioning time travelers, my EMF is spiking.
Yes. So
Oh,
it makes you wonder. Maybe these are humans, right? But maybe they're from maybe 500 years in the future and they're coming back to see the Great Japan earthquake where all the nuclear power station melted down. Maybe they're coming back to see volcanoes erupting. And what's worrying is there's been a lot of UFO reports in Yellowstone in the last few weeks.
oh yeah.
Whoa, look at that.
Is Yellowstone? What the fuck?
Look at that, guys.
There is nothing there that should be causing it to spike off like that. which makes for an interesting point. There's a video that floats around online every now and then that's supposed to be of a allegedly time traveling alien. It looks like one of the Greys being interviewed by apparently, allegedly, these government individuals.
Yeah.
Where they say it wasn't from necessarily another planet, it was from years and years in the future. This particular being was in fact an evolutionary descendant of mankind. And the reason why they're coming back in those ships is because something really big and really nasty happened that erased most of history. And basically that was their way of trying to go back and see what happened to recollect all that information.
Yeah. Did you not find that funny when it mentioned the volcano in Yellowstone? And it just as if it's like, yeah, that's what we're talking about, that's what we're talking about, yeah. And it just stood up. I've never seen an EMF stay as long as that.
That has got to be one of the longest incidents, which is really concerning because according to the latest numbers on it, the Yellowstone volcano, were it to go off, I'm in the blast zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, nice knowing you, everybody.
Yep. But let's try that again. I mean, is there end of there? Is there a warning? Is there got to be something disaster happening soon? Is there going to be a big disaster on the Earth involving volcanoes? Is it going to be involving the United States? It's strange that.
It was spiking as you were asking that.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. And those of you wondering, I just brought myself up so it would be maybe a little easier to see if it said start spiking, but that's a little concerning.
It is a little, because we were bringing up the fact about the time travelers coming back to see. I mean, you think about it. In 1,000 years, look at our technology now. Can you imagine the technology of the human race in 1,000 years from now? Right. So, imagine coming back to see the great. Can you imagine coming back to see Yellowstone explode? I mean, it would just be like the explosion in 2012, the movie.
Actually, the latest estimates, they believe it would actually be a lot worse.
Yes. Well, it would drop the planet into a new ice age.
Oh yeah, they say that minimum, the quote unquote best case scenario, that the best case scenario is 1/3 of the world's population dead.
Yeah. I was just thinking we should make some of the people in the chats
I have more
mods
about
if we got mods that. Yeah, we've got
in
mods
the
there.
U.S.
Yep, that's it. But is that it going off again? It's the subject. Why don't you try asking questions, Dakota?
All right, we have.
Why don't you try and ask some questions?
We'll just go ahead and bring it up since we are broadcasting on more than one show.
What's this? I'd ask more about a war in the US, Chris. I don't think there's got to be a war in the US. Why would there be a war
No,
in the
Drew,
United
they're
States?
actually trying to prevent that. That's there's this author. Here, let me see if I can find the book here. Here it is. Elena Danon. Those of you who are familiar with some of our previous ventures, we had a chance to meet with her. She actually talks about an incident where members of the Federation she's in contact with actually intercepted astronaut that was on the International Space Station.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, their mission was to put up a bunch of microsatellites into the atmosphere. Allegedly, their concern was that these particular beings, well, these particular satellites, there was more to them from the species that want us suppressed, that want us to be basically mind slaves. So basically, what they said, they went up, said, and tried to intimidate him, said, you do not want to put these up. They also claimed that they've wiped his memory and made it to where if he had any sort of recollection of that encounter, he would feel it was more of a premonition type thing. It was just an uneasy feeling.
I think the next major disaster in the world, I don't think it's got to be war, I think it's got to be a volcano. Look how things are rattling up. Have you seen that in Spain? That's just madness. Yes, people will admit they shouldn't have built the town on a volcano, right? Simple as that, right? It's a volcanic island. But it's not just that, it's with the Japanese one. That's just erupted, like you were saying, Dakota.
Mm-hmm.
And then Yellowstone. Is America now got 2 super volcanoes?
No, Yellowstone is the main one of concern.
Yeah. I mean, the caldera, is it not like 30 miles wide or something, the caldera?
It was, I can't remember the exact numbers, but not a few years back, they actually realized that it was at least 10 times bigger than they originally thought.
Yeah.
I don't remember the exact numbers, but like I said, they said the lowest casualty count for if it were to go off was like 1/3 of the world's population. And one thing a lot of people don't really take into consideration is that it's not necessarily the volcano that would cause the problem. It's the crap in the air. Like it wasn't necessarily the trail of the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Crap in the air.
Yeah, you think about it. Volcanic dust is the most toxic in the world. If you breathe it in, it sets like concrete, can kill you. If you get it into your car, it'll kill the engine. If a jet engine sucks the slightest amount in, that's like an airliner or a normal jet, it can't fly. The world would grind to a halt. The people in Europe and the United Kingdom would probably be okay for like 3 days, and then it would start. Crops would fail, food would run out. It'd be madness. It would start snowing all the time. Weird how you there, Dakota? I think Dakota's having some technical problems, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just going to read some of the chat. That are you there, Dakota? I was just going to read some more of the chat.
I'm here.
Let me see. Have you any questions, guys? Have you got any questions? There's paranormal investigators for you, Dakota. Are we going to see aliens face to face? That's an interesting question. I think we will one day, and I don't think it'll be long. Dakota's having technical problems, ladies and gentlemen. There's Nat. Was that weird? You say 1.5 of the population when the Spanish flu did that too. You're having some technical difficulties there, Dakota.
Right as the EMF started spiking again.
Yeah. Yeah. Really strange. Things are afoot. Things are happening. Why don't you tell our audience what you're feeling?
There's definitely something here that wants my attention. And to answer Paranormal World Investigators' question, allegedly by next year.
Yeah.
By next year, there's supposed to be a grand reveal. How much radiation did Chernobyl cause? There was quite a bit. It supposed to make the area uninhabitable for thousands of years, but they know a lot of people who watch Chernobyl to watch, basically take advantage of the fact to monitor the what the effects of radiation are, because obviously no one's going to be living for thousands of years. they found that a lot of the animals started returning to the region, and they're perfectly healthy, curiously enough.
I think the Japanese one was far worse because they're dumping radiation into the sea constantly.
Mm-hmm.
You notice that spiked when I mentioned Japan again. I mean, is there something about to happen? Is there like a major earthquake? And I'm asking the EMF meter. Is there something about to happen, like an earthquake, a volcano, something biblical in a sense that's going to cause total disruption in the entire world? There we go. See that, ladies and gentlemen? And it went all the way to red. Did you see that?
You don't realize that your ignorance about this world is going to cause self-destruction. It's comparable to your body's reacting to the common cold or flu.
Mm-hmm.
A fever will be coming into the planet in order to try to correct the conditions.
Yeah. But that
We're trying to stop it. We're trying to help you as best as we can, but there are simply not enough numbers to our availability to prevent what is coming to your world as well as worlds adjacent to yours and other realities. Who the hell is that?
And there's Dakota and went into one of his trances, ladies and gentlemen. And that's for the people on the radio. Obviously, the people in the chat can see Dakota.
Anyway.
It's weird because when that was happening to you, your EMF was spiking.
Yeah, no, that's the weird part when those incidents happen. To kind of go back to one of the earlier question about whether or not there's going to be contact, we're going to. There's a very tall figure in Dakota, but the light's very bright. Well, it's one of the good guys. You can trust that.
Yeah, it's one of the good guys. I wouldn't worry about it. I think we're onto something here, talking about disasters. I think something big is about to happen.
Yeah,
Let's face it, we've not had anything big in the news happen for a while. Yes, there's been obviously the virus, which we're not mentioning, but nothing like a disaster scale.
Actually, paranormal world investigators, if you want a good source material on some of the species that are out there that have interacted with us, seriously, go check out this book. It's called A Gift from the Stars, Extraterrestrial Contacts, and Guide of Alien Races. It's by Elena Danon. It is honestly quite detailed. The woman is an absolutely amazing artist. She describes so many different ETs. In fact, a lot of the stuff in her materials have actually been helping us with our stuff that's been going on. It's something big is coming that's absolutely going to change the face of the world.
I think it's more alien than asteroid, because people are talking about a new asteroid. An asteroid's not going to happen. I think aliens are going to land one day and change everything. It's going to change everything.
Book it too. It's on Amazon. Am I right? Yes. My book, as well as these books that I recommended, you can find them all on Amazon. I don't know if you're going to find the same issues that this one did. Apparently, when he tried to order my latest book, it got delayed so much Amazon sent him a wine voucher. So.
Yep. Which I never used. Because I don't drink. But it's a very, very interesting book. I will say that. And it's got a lot of pictures in it too, like aliens, different races, and what's in our galaxy, really.
Even the interesting thing about it is that a lot of the math behind what it would take to support these systems that they describe these beings come from checks out.
Yeah.
The figure has got a triangle symbol in his hand. Hold on. I hate to stop the show, especially where we do this on as well as a podcast, but there's certain
What's that?
Now, I was paranormal world investigators. They're talking about the symbol. I'm trying to remember which book it was in, but there's
Are you
certain.
talking about? There's that symbol.
No, it said it's a triangle.
Mm.
Hold on. Does it look something like that? One of my fingers pointing to.
A triangle symbol. I can see that. Yeah. What alien race is that?
That's Ashtars.
Is that Ashtar? Really?
Yeah, that's part of the Galactic Command. It's there's two different Ashtar organizations allegedly.
Yeah.
Yes, has an eye on it.
Yes, it's an eye on it. Mm.
Must be one. Wait,
Let's see that one again.
what? Like that?
Like that one.
That's trouble if we got. That's it. Scottish
If
Outlook,
it's
where we're
that.
actually streaming through three different channels.
Yeah. Scottish, you're on my channel. Please subscribe to Bald and Bonkers. I'll send you the link tonight. It's
Yes.
coming
Oh
through.
crap. Okay. That's
Who is that?
that's one of the bad guys.
Is it? So he's standing behind you then, so he's pissed then.
It's
What's he
the
pissed about?
there's a strict hierarchy. Basically, it's part of the reptilian races, the ones that want to kill us.
Thank God he's with you and he's not with me. That's what I'm going to say. You know?
Okay, there's already been instances where we learned that they can easily use
Yeah,
StreamYard to
I
get
know.
from one place to another.
Yeah, they
It's
can
not seeming bad
travel.
towards you. Try to sell
Yeah.
you something.
Has not seen bad towards you. It's has like trying to show you something. Is you sure it's that one? It's not the one before it.
No, that's. I think I know what she's saying. It's a warning.
I'm just going to post the link to Bald and Bonkers in the chat. Could you do that? I'll do that now.
There.
It's just for some of the people.
For those of
So
you
if you can
interested,
subscribe.
I did just post a flow page as well that shows you all the links to where all the spots you can actually watch or listen to this show. Anyways, trying to show you something. Huh. That's a
I'm
warning.
just going to post that in
No,
the Age of
you don't have
Darkness.
to apologize, Sherry.
That's all right.
That's something we need. That's something we need to know about.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, those of you who haven't caught on yet, we actually broadcast this live on three different channels. Mine, Specialists of the Strange, his, Age of Darkness, as well as Bald and Bonkers.
Yeah,
Pale with a tinge of black.
Scottish Outlooker, click on the Age of Darkness link there, and that'll bring you out the Bald and Bonkers, and you can give us a subscribe.
Domed head.
Domed head?
That doesn't exactly limit it down, but that definitely sounds like one of the reptilians. Wait a minute.
Yeah. See, guys, strange things that come afoot through the night.
Yeah, and I'm allegedly delusional. For those of you who like to watch this, to look for more bits to continually stir up drama.
Yeah.
But no, thank you for sharing that. Like I said, it still stands that if you happen to see or hear anything and it doesn't look like either one of us happen to catch it while we're doing the shows, please feel free to say something.
Yeah. I see Nat was saying the EMF is going off again.
Yeah, it was.
And for you guys in the chat, or you guys in the listening to this on podcast that can't see this, please come over to our YouTube channels, give them a subscribe, and we're talking about an EMF device that's going off.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like for those of you who subscribe to the YouTube channels, James Ramsey. It's meant to be the eye of Providence.
He's actually quite intelligent. This guy knows quite a lot about this kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
I pressed that. I went to share it. Yeah. I've had him on a couple of times, but every time he starts talking about stuff, he takes his internet.
Oh, we might have to talk with him on this show sometime.
Yeah.
I'd be definitely interested to hear some of your thoughts on this.
There is definitely something going on. I can feel it too.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. But I think we're starting to get their attention. See, the thing is, if we're getting the attention of the good guys, obviously we're going to get the attention of the bad guys.
Yeah. That's why they also try to say that
we can see you dragon huntings.
Yeah, we see you. Like I said, we broadcast on more than one channel. You attend the live shows. You get to be part of the fun, and we get to talk back about you on the podcast.
There's Jerry saying
high
humming noise.
Huh. It's like the only thing I'm physically hearing right now is the fan off of my computer. So
I can't hear a thing. We've actually got a really good turnout tonight. We've got about 13, 14 people watching us, and then it's
I saw it jump up to 15, but I found it kind of convenient after I said, those of you looking to stir up drama, it dropped.
Yeah.
Storm spring in the sky, that's why there are clouds, have been tinted for years. Chess King 69er?
Yep. Storm brewing.
That one of yours?
That's one, yeah. Yeah, I think he's one of mine, thank you, yeah. I think, remember, please, guys, come out and please subscribe to the Bald and Bonkers channel because it helps.
You're saying, Chris, it's meant to be... Huh. Well, you all are certainly giving me things to try to research tonight, obsessively, to where I won't be able to go to sleep.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'll be listening to this podcast again. Please, guys, try. Where can we get the podcast, guy? Where can we get it? Why don't you tell us? Yeah.
We got it set up to where you can listen to this podcast through iTunes. We got it through Anchor, Spotify. Let's see. It takes about... There's a few criteria, but we're also going to be into iHeartRadio here soon, Google, Stitcher. Like I said, I've posted the link before, and the link is in the description to a flow page that has all the spots where you can catch this show. Check the YouTube channels. If you want to be part of the live show, feel free to interact. Ask us questions on the spot. And literally right as we get done here, I take the audio from this, put it up as a podcast, and we're slowly trying to get it branched out to as many places as we can.
It'll be good once it's uploaded on iHeartRadio because that's one of the main ones that I use. So it'll be really, really. Oh, thank you, Scottish Outlooker.
Keep up the good work, guys. Thank you, Scottish Outlooker. Thank you to all who do follow us. I do apologize for kind of breaking off, but obviously the second things start catching live, it's one of those things where you got to pay attention. Otherwise, you might miss something good.
I must admit, I'm shocked about how many people are watching this. I mean, it's really, really good, actually. Between the three channels, it's actually... And we also have got a Facebook group, if you want to join that, Bald and Bonkers. Just ask to join. I'll let you in, or Dakota will let you in, or one of the mods will let you in.
He has light coming from his mouth and his eyes. Is he dying? What?
What? Who said that?
No, that's Sherry. That was Sherry. He has light coming from his mouth and eyes. Is he dying? No, there's actually... It's not that he's dying. That's just him phasing in.
Oh, right.
Oh, but there is actually one species. It's called the Dreas. It's actually one of the ones that are supposed to show themselves next year. See if I can find the picture of it real quick for those of you who watch in the live feed. Does the tell me, does the face of it kind of look like just has a weird skull structure to it. I'm trying to think of the right words. DQ Paranormal TV, hello.
Hey, welcome, DK. Welcome.
Welcome, hello, everyone. I was like, man.
Was this another alien you're looking up here? This is for the
Yeah, I
people
was
in
trying to find
podcast.
the
If you wonder
address,
what
but
Dakota's doing, he's looking up the alien, and you'll have to kind of subscribe.
yes,
Tell us
long.
what it looks like.
Say again. Huh. I really gotta find some way to bookmark the individual species in that thing. But
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be might have to reach out to you later on with it just so I can try to get confirmation because they say there's at least 90 different species that have had direct interaction with our planet.
Just a few friends I went sky gazing years ago. It happened next blew our mind. Saw something that looked like a holy graphic tent with people coming out. They came towards our car. We're human and the nature. See,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's it would amaze you. I bet you right now, above your houses, there's ships. I bet they're everywhere. They're everywhere. So this is the strange thing.
Like I said, Jerry, I'll reach out to you through maybe the Facebook group later to see if any of ones I find in that book match your description. Because there's a few that are fit that criteria.
Yeah. We've got what's the guest we have on Saturday? Our first ever guest on Saturday. Do you know who that is, Dakota? You
Oh,
better remember, yeah.
Come
Come on, you
Living
know his
History
name.
Comes Alive, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is. Living
Yes,
History
yes,
Comes
yes.
Alive is our first ever guest on Bald and Bonkers Saturday night.
Well, we
What do
were
we
trying
have?
to get somebody to join us tonight, but apparently we're not important enough to him.
Yeah. See the thing with Nubs is he's got his penny on the new and he's doing his dusting. You know.
God, that's a horrible visual.
I'm telling you, that's what he's doing the new. He's doing that the new. He's doing his dusting and he's into that kind of stuff. You know. What's this here?
Yesterday I learned there's a
Yesterday I
UFO
went to.
cult called Realism, I think it's pronounced, based out of Frandsen, Switzerland. Huh.
There you go. Yeah, look that
Well,
up.
that's not surprising. I learned the other day apparently there's some sort of cult out there that is trying to raise a real life Leviathan by raising up lobsters.
Brilliant.
No,
Put
because
them in their own restaurant.
lobsters, they're biologically immortal. So technically, if they're kept well kept, they can live forever, and they just keep growing and growing and growing. So they're trying to make a lobster god, basically.
Yeah, a lobster god. Well, just give me a big pot of boiling water and a pair of pliers, and I'll do it. You know?
Well, with global warming, the entire ocean would be good enough. So,
Yeah. That's very true. That's very true. And then we have our contact next Wednesday. Who's the guest there? One
yes,
of our
we have our dear friend Asher joining us for next week.
ushers.
As crazy as a woman may be, she definitely knows her stuff. We'll say that.
Yes.
And we say
And
that
then we
with
have
love,
the
Ash.
Halloween night. Well, it's not really Halloween. It's Saturday night.
Uh,
Getting into Halloween.
I was like,
And
yeah.
that'll be
We're doing
exciting.
a Halloween special next week. Basically, we've invited a bunch of our friends, and we're going to swap some
Yep.
stories. Dress up if you want.
Stories. I'm ready dressed up. I'm going as Uncle Fester for the Adams Family.
I was actually going to try to see if I can find some glasses that look like yours and dress up as you.
God. I don't know how to come back to that one, you know. I don't. And for you, listeners out there in radio land that don't know what we look like, I'm the handsomest bald man, and then we've got Dakota that's slightly more handsome, but you know.
At least I don't need a ton of beauty products.
I use beauty products to bring my beautiful looks out on me. Look, I'm 40 years old. You're what are you, 20, 26 or something?
I'm 25. Yeah.
It was 25. You wouldn't think that, Tay. You would think he was a wee bit older than me, wouldn't you? Everybody.
Yes, I know. Trust me, the number of times I've been called my own mother's husband. True story.
Oh my goodness, guys. So I hope you've all enjoyed it tonight, guys, because it's been
Well,
really good tonight, hasn't it?
it's definitely been a good night. Definitely been interesting. I'm going to have some research because it does sound very familiar that things are going on. But because this is a UFO thing,
Yeah.
why don't we do a little something that... Oh, and my mom is watching.
Well, what is that? What one's your mother? Oh,
Hi, Mom!
I'm that Scottish guy for today. Hello.
This is the old Scottish guy you were giggling over.
That's terrible.
But
Old
anyway,
Scottish guy. That's terrible.
because
Yeah.
we do have a little something that we occasionally like to do in order to spice things up. Chris knows what I'm talking about. And for those of you who are interested in potentially making contact with ETs, look up CE5 protocols. There's an app. It costs about $10, but it is worth it. Because if you play these tones, it lures them out.
Oh, yeah. You'll get a visitation tonight because of this.
Mm-hmm. Something about us broadcasting it like this increases the signal. They hear it. And so those of you who are lucky enough to have clear skies tonight, listen carefully. Try to look up the CE5 protocols because you're going to see something. And if you happen to catch a video, feel free to share.
I think we need to do an experiment one night. I think we're all needing to download the app and play it at the same time.
That would definitely be interesting to see what would happen.
Yeah.
Does it work?
Makes us turn weird. Yeah, I've always been weird, Drew.
And trust me, we've had people send us videos before that have listened to one of the sessions we did with this, and the things they caught on camera actually had tones very similar to this coming from them. So,
the Gashtar's coming for Dakota tonight. You know.
Yeah, I'm alright.
But also remember this, guys. This video will be uploaded onto our Facebook page, Bald and Bonkers. But please, if you guys have got any videos there or any ghost hunting stuff, please post it on Bald and Bonkers and Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And it lets us all help each other grow.
Oh, yeah. And of course, you can also follow my channel. I occasionally like to do gaming. I'm going to start posting a few more Spirit Box sessions here in a bit. Follow Chris for if he ever decides to get off his ass.
That's terrible. This man went and bought the new Xbox. What is it? S Series S or X?
You're just jealous about my new big black toy.
I didn't sound right, did it, ladies and gentlemen? Did it?
He's the one that started it. He started.
I can't see me buying an Xbox. There's nothing about it. Can't get them anywhere.
Yeah, I got lucky.
You know.
Oh man.
You know. But I'm looking forward to the Halloween thing.
Oh yeah.
We're getting everybody back together again. Reunite for good. You know.
We're here to try wiping the slate clean. So a big middle finger to those of you trolls who want to continue bringing up stuff. And about those Prime shows you were asking, go talk with Parachills, see what their thoughts are on that, because we're out of the loop. Yeah. We're going about our own way, and we do wish them luck. So,
we've got something else planned anyway, though.
Yeah, we do have plans further on down the road as we build up more people. And if y'all want to catch that, be sure to follow us, subscribe. We're everywhere. And we are going to get ready to cut off this so we can play the replays later on. For those of you who missed it, we just found out we can apparently play the lives through the Facebook group. Yeah. So we're going to do that. Yeah. Be safe out there. Much love to everyone. Yep. Chris, if you got anything to add, we got about 3 minutes left.
I'd just like to say every love to everybody, including the people that don't like us, but, love to use to, again, it's a terrible world, but there you go. We all need to stick together, we all need to reunite, and we all need to work together for a better place and a better world. That's me. And look forward to Saturday for Drew.
Oh, yes. You do want to come in. And because we want to try to spread love, there's a new thing going around. I can squeeze this in. This is apparently law enforcement agencies are starting to push around the International Domestic Abuse sign. It gives the abuse a chance to talk to the officers without physically saying anything, so their abusers can't hear them. Where they basically make this to let the officer know that no, they're not safe. Yeah. So if you see a video like that around, be sure to share it about. With the holidays coming up, unfortunately, stuff like that also kicks up. Be safe out there. Much love to even the haters.
Catch you later.
Be sure to like, subscribe, and do remember that we do occasionally air reruns on other channels.
Yes.
I know some of you got confused the first time we did that. I'm teasing. No harm done. Love y'all.
Catch you later, guys.
Catch you later.
Bye-bye.
And keep your eyes to the sky.